Okay, taking off the exhaust manifold. They call it a maniverter because it's a exhaust manifold and catalytic converter. There's this plate that comes off. You got nice long bolts like this. Use 6-point socket on. I think it's 10 millimeter, right? And they come off easy. There's 4. Pull that off. Of course, you disconnect your O2 sensor. Underneath, there's a bottom plate here. It's just dangling around down in here. It's got the nuts. To take off the manifold, there's a nut on either side, on the top, and then 3 bolts on the bottom and 1 on the top. No, 2 bolts on. A bolt here, a bolt here, a bolt here, a bolt here on the bottom, and then 1 in the middle. Right? They're all easy to get at. You can use extension, direct line like this in. I put my my wrench has a flexible on here. This really helps. And then I used a pipe here on it to give it the torque. And it came out quite easy. I've got 1 more to go here. So I got my pipe on my wrench. Once it's loose, then you can get rid of that. What the bolts look like. These are the bolts. 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4. Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On my 5th one. And the nuts. The nuts are a 14 millimeter, and the heads on these are 13. Alright, so once you get your bolts out, then you can pry the PTU. It's easy, just pry it out and move it off to the side. And that will allow you to get to the rear crossmember bolts. There's 1 bolt way back in here, which is strange. I would have just had, this is the bolt for the undercarriage crossmember. What I'd do is I'd have made this one super long and go right in there. So you have 1 bolt, but instead you got 1 that you have to get from the top here. And with the PTO moved, you can get the rear transaxle mount bolt out this way. Right. On this side, it's actually a clip. It's a nut to clip on it. Just come off, so I better put that up here. So on this rear cross member, you got 2 bolts in the back, and then you have 1 in the front. So the one in the front, I'm going to have to try and see how I'm going to get to it. It's a real awkward position, of course. It's always that case, eh? So it's in there someplace. Great. I don't know how they expect you to get that out. To get to the front bolt on the rear motor mount, you just put a long socket in here, and it's 16 millimeter, and it actually comes out pretty easy. To remove the this mount here, let's put some light on here. This mount here, there's a bolt in the top. You can get at it with a ratchet, and there's another bolt in the bottom. And what you should use is a one of these ratcheting box end wrenches like this. That works pretty good. And then basically that comes off, and that gives you more clearance, so you can take the transaxle and drop it down. Interesting is I got this loose. Oh, I can pull it out now. Isn't that neat? So you can't take this out until this guy is loose. Right, so you have to remember that when you put it back together. All right. So this is the rear transaxle mount, right? So there's 2 bolts in here, 1 here. This is a clip that holds this one on. So basically you have to do it from this side to get to this one. You have to take out the power takeoff unit. This is a little hook where you have your wiring harness that goes to your O2 sensor, and I had trouble taking this off. And what it actually is the wiring harness kind of slides onto it, right? So either that or I broke it, I'm not sure. We'll find out.